Welcome to the live stream. Busy Lady is in. Busy Lady, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling a lot better. Okay. And I'm doing this on the YouTube system instead of on StreamYard again. I got some positive feedback on that last time I did it, so hopefully it'll work out. If not, I'm going to trust you all to let me know. All right? Well, Valentine's Day is almost here, right? Just a couple of days away. We're doing this on Saturday, and Valentine's Day is just a couple of days out. And I know if y'all are like me, sometimes you're more prepared than others. This happens to be a good year. I think because I'm so frustrated with being boxed in. But anyway, cheap date ideas, or you could use them anytime. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, of course. And we did this live stream a couple of years ago. It was really popular. We did had a fair amount of watch time on it, so that's why we are revisiting it. And I've got totally different ideas. Several people have submitted ideas, and if you submitted it and I missed it, those are over in our Facebook group, so do double check there. Busy Lady says, hey, there you are. Yep, I'm here. I understand that notifications on the video just went out a couple of minutes ago, so sorry, that's out of my control, completely out of my control. I'll be using my phone tonight, so if I miss a comment, I apologize in advance. Let's see, I got a text coming in. Oh no, I hope I can see it. Okay. All right, Stellar Piper saying see you in a few. Okay then. Well, as we come up with cheap date ideas, Busy Lady says, no worries, nice to see you. How was your week? It's better. It's better. For those of y'all who don't know, I've been struggling with long COVID, and some days are better than others, and fortunately this week has been a better week. So thank you for asking, Busy. I still have this cough and I still get short of breath, but I'm getting short of breath less frequently. So thank you. I tell you, it's been, that's all I'm going to say. But I'm kind of glad to have Valentine's Day because it gives me something to look forward to now that I can get out a little bit more. I still have to pace it. I can't go out long without just being wiped out. I went to get a cabinet the other day for a friend of mine, and I sacked out in the car. But what I'm concentrating on is the fact that I was able to get out, where a couple of weeks ago, or even 3 weeks ago, I don't know if I could have. So moving forward, got to concentrate on the positive and look for those little things every day that are not negative, that are positive. For me, that's been helpful. So thank you very much for asking. Busy Lady says hers is finally gone. I am glad to hear that, Busy. I am so glad. That is awesome. You have just made my week, okay? So I'm really glad. Busy has been struggling also with the COVID crud. Yay. Yay. I'm glad. Because it's rough. And I don't care. I know I'm kind of getting off tangent. I'll be back on it in just a minute. But yeah, Omicron is less dangerous. The symptoms are milder. But when you look at what you're comparing it to, yeah, I want the world to put it behind us. Hopefully soon. So anyway, date ideas. All right, I know that some of these ideas won't apply to everybody, but they should be fun. Lori's in the house. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. So, all right. So I've got some ideas that I've jotted down, and some suggestions from hubby and from those of y'all in Facebook, and a couple from Twitter. So it's a really neat list. All right, and we're talking about cheap date ideas, so toss your ideas and suggestions into the comments. Also, you can do that in our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/Gayle Vlogs, GAYLE VLOGS. All right, are we ready? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay, the first cheap date idea is to go on a picnic. And, you know, picnics, the nice thing about them is they can be as expensive or inexpensive as you want them to be. And, you know, that's really, you know, you can have peanut butter sandwiches, you can grill steaks, anything in between, grab sushi from the grocery store. Now, my husband grabbed some one time from the gas station. Not sure I recommend that, but he survived. He said it was good. But, you know, the point is you can have a nice picnic wherever you are without spending a lot of money on it, because it's the little things that make it special, like holding hands, like telling the person that you're with that you love them. You know, those really are what makes a picnic, you know? So that was the first thing. And the second thing is, you know, if you can't go outside to have a picnic, if the weather is just too cold or crappy and you can't go outside, you can have it inside. You know, remember when you were young kids and maybe made a fort in the living room? You know, how many of y'all remember that? I used to have a nice cover for the table that my parents bought, and I could crawl under the table, and that was my fort, and it was so cool. Well, you can do that as an adult for Valentine's Day. And if you don't want to string the blankets up above you, just take your blanket and toss it in the middle of the living room. Take the pillows off the couch, take the throw pillows off, and just put your picnic basket in the middle of it, and boom, instant picnic in your living room, and you don't have to worry about the weather at all. So what do you all think? Busy says that's a cute idea. Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, why not? It's something, you know, kind of quirky, kind of fun, definitely different, right? So, had that. Now, there was something, a date idea that my husband and I did. Busy says, we need to be cheap as I am a bum now, LOL. Okay, well, maybe you could take the picnic and have it in the living room. You know, just make it nice, do something nice. That's all you got to do. Pretty good, huh? Staying indoors. My son and I had many indoor picnics and a barbecue at the park. There you go. Busy lady's going to bake her husband a V-Day cake, Valentine's Day cake. Make sure you post a photo of that over in the group, because that would be great. And I'm sure he's going to love it. I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. And that's actually on the list, to bake a cake or cookies for your special someone for Valentine's Day. And it doesn't have to be, you know, gorgeous and perfect. You don't have to be a professional cake decorator for it to mean a lot, and that's what matters. Sure will. Need to run to Aldi soon, actually. There you go. I actually did a Valentine's Day video, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, where we actually went to the Olive Garden and then across the street to the Aldi. Because, you know, your Valentine's Day ideas change a little bit as you get older. So we blended the grocery store with the Olive Garden. It worked for us that year. So, yeah. Another cheap date idea is to ride a ferry. Now, my husband and I went on vacation a couple of years ago, and we went to the Outer Banks, and we wanted to take a sunset cruise. We couldn't find one. We could not find one anywhere at any price at all. Hey, Stellar Piper, welcome. we're talking about cheap date ideas for Valentine's Day. So toss yours into the chat room as they come up, okay? So anyhow, we wanted to take a sunset cruise, but we could not find one anywhere at any price at all. So we were thinking, what can we do just to add and make it kind of special? Well, our answer was to take the ferry ride across the Cape Fear River. And so it wound up only costing like a couple of bucks. And the way we went, we were able to loop around and come back to the mainland another way, which was really cool. But only cost a couple of bucks. But here's the deal, okay? We looked it up to see what time sunset was going to be that day. And we picked that time especially to try to get on the river at sunset. And it worked out. So we had to be there about 30 minutes before sunset to make sure that we were in line for that particular sunset ferry, or that particular ferry, to catch the sunset. And it was beautiful. Now we brought our own snacks, so we had, our water bottles in the car with us, our good Contigos that I always have. And we were in the middle of the lake as the sun started going down. Now I have a video on that, and I can link that down in the description box, or I'll put it up in the corner also in one of those circles in the corner. But it was the coolest thing because we were in the middle of the lake. We got to turn on our phone and stream the music that we wanted to stream. And if we wanted to sing to the radio, or sing to the phone, we just cranked it up. We didn't have to worry about bothering anybody. And the scene was just gorgeous. So that is a cheap date idea that I'm tossing out there. So if you're near a ferry and you want to take a sunset cruise and you can't afford it, that's an option. In worst case scenario, you go across the river and you get there, and let's say you miss the sunset. And that's a bummer, right? But by going early, you have a little early, you have a better opportunity to find a place where you can see the sunset. So worst case scenario, our thinking was that if we did miss the sunset, that's exactly what we would do. We would go find a spot where we could see it and have just a really neat date for a couple of bucks. So what are you all thinking about cheap date ideas? Go ahead and toss those ideas in the chat, okay? And the other thing is a walking tour of our town, because you might be surprised at how little you know about your own town when you go to take a walking tour. And if you go to the visitor center or Chamber of Commerce tourism site for your town, most towns have them. When you go there, you can ask if they have a walking tour, and they can give you a pamphlet or flyer or whatever they have on the walking tour. So as you take that, it can really expand your knowledge about what you have in your town that you might want to go back to. Restaurants or sites or scenes, all of those things, you very well may find out that they're there for the first time. So, and of course, a walking tour, you're hoofing it, so you're not paying somebody, although some walking tours you can, but for the most part, they're self-guided, so you don't have to pay anybody. You can bring your own snacks, or you can get something inexpensive from one of the restaurants on the walking tour. And just relax and have a good time. And I'm going to be showing you in a few minutes, I'm going to be doing a little demo on a Valentine's Day picnic using super basic stuff that you can put together and take with you, and show you that the food doesn't have to be complicated. It's the thought. So I'm going to give you one idea in a few minutes, and hopefully springboard some of your ideas. Okay. Let's see what else was on the list that was recommended. Oh, museums. Because a lot of museums now are accepting donations rather than having a fee. Let's see, Stellar Piper says she and her husband are going out to dinner tomorrow for Valentine's Day. So good for you all. You're going to go early. You're going to miss all those crowds. So good for you. Good for you. Also, you can take advantage of some specials for Valentine's Day because most of the restaurants are all giving some kind of special or incentive to get you to go. So, but the suggestion on the museums, I thought that was a good one because many museums are operating only on donations now. Stellar says a couple of museums near her are free admission but charge for tours. Okay. So I guess you can self-guide on those. Is that my understanding? We'll give her a minute to respond there. But no, if you have a donation that only accepts, if you have a museum that only accepts donations, it doesn't get much more, it doesn't get more expensive than that. And it gives you a good afternoon together, which is kind of nice. And sometimes museums are playing the soft music in the background, which kind of makes it romantic and fun. Yeah. The other suggestion that I had given to me was ice cream. To pile in the car and go out for ice cream and be a kid again and enjoy the moment. Get your favorite toppings, go either in a drive-through or into a restaurant itself. Just go. I think that sounds pretty cool. Because how often as adults do we go out just for ice cream? To go get our favorite flavor and just do that. So I thought that sounded like fun. And this says, go in or not, go through the drive-through, have it in the car, I guess, or go into a restaurant, and as I think about this, probably the only restaurants near me that would have ice cream would be like McDonald's and Sonic, but even that might be fun, So, what are y'all thinking? Lori Jean is saying, congratulations on your Valentine's Day plans. And Stellar Piper says, of course, you can't go wrong with a pillow fort in the living room. There you go. Just that you're together. I love favorite things. Movies on TV. And this is from Lori Jean. She says, it's beautiful. It's the fact that you're together. I love favorite things. Movie on TV. At home, foot rubs, massages, plants from the garden. Ooh, foot rubs and a massage. You can have your own spa night for Valentine's Day. That sounds cool. And I love the idea of the flowers from the garden, the plants from the garden, especially this time of year where people are starting seedlings and looking at going for their garden. And of course, that's also a good idea for any kind of date. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm going to write that down. Slip that note to my husband. And going back to the ice cream thing too, if you wanted, there's some places that like specialize in desserts, and like the desserts are their main claim to fame. You can go to one of those and just have a dessert, or maybe just get an appetizer and dessert, share it. I don't know, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see that we went to the Hard Rock the other day, and you could go there just for ice cream because, oh my gosh, that ice cream, if you see the photo on my Instagram page, you will die because that thing was huge. I mean, like huge. I don't know, it had like, I'm going to guess 3 or 4 scoops of ice cream. So if you're near Hard Rock, go in and share that ice cream. And if you have AAA, you get a AAA discount. Just make sure you remind them of that or tell them of that. So it was huge. And I know there's other places that specialize in desserts. If you guys want to toss that over into the chat room, because my mind is shutting down as far as other places. So help me out. But yeah, and in the meantime, go to Instagram. That's instagram.com/Gayle Vlogs. Again, GaylevLogs. It was astounding. Just saying. Yeah. So, yeah. So, ice cream or dessert at a fancy restaurant. Also, do an activity. Now, this is one. Okay, I got this idea offline. They suggested to go bowling, find a climbing wall, or walk around the park. And then they suggested, this was in one of the comments there, visit a trampoline park. I have no idea what a trampoline park is. Apparently it's a lot of fun. But that was suggested as an activity. Of course, if I bounced on a trampoline, I'd probably also bounce right off. But for those of you who are a little more steady on your feet, that might be an idea. But yeah, I'd never heard of a trampoline park. I thought that was kind of a neat idea. So, and music, really any place that has live music, I don't care what kind of music it is just about, it just makes kind of a romantic atmosphere, whether you're at a coffee house or a concert or anywhere in between. We actually had a moment today, which is what put this on my radar screen. We went to the grocery store. No, that was not our date this time, okay? Not our date. But when we were at the grocery store, there was this guy out playing his violin, and then he switched and he was playing his accordion. He had several instruments, and he was backed up by a keyboard, had the amplifier and stuff going. But it was kind of nice, just sitting out in the parking lot for a few minutes, rolling down the car windows. Today was a nice day, which is, I'm sure, why he was out there. But I was really surprised at how that changed the whole environment of the grocery store parking lot to hear this music. So I think that one of the Valentine's Day date ideas that you can look at is going someplace that has live music. And it's not always the fanciest place. Sometimes, like I said, it is a coffee house. We used to have a restaurant not real far from here, and they served barbecue. And they did barbecue and had live musics on like Monday night or Tuesday night, something like that. Again, this is a barbecue place. So no dressing up. It was not expensive. And so, but, with the music, it just kind of changed the atmosphere. So, yeah, let me go back here to the chat. Stellar Piper says she's making a bouquet of origami flowers for her office, but that could easily be a Valentine's Day present. Oh, neat. And Lori says, ooh, ice cream, my favorite thing to do. My husband and I would go to Dairy Queen at the beginning of our marriage with hard change, hard shells on vanilla ice cream or chocolate jimmies, sprinkles. Ooh, that sounds good. That was a nice idea, too. Busy says there are trampoline places in Florida, indoors. I had never heard of that. Stellar says, Lori, I usually take my clients to the Dairy Queen when they sign their lease. They like it. Aw. And she says in reply, ooh, I know, Stellar. My son and I usually hit up Dairy Queen when we go to the beach for both of our birthdays. Nice. Red, yes. Busy lady saying she just noticed my Valentine's Day shirt. Yeah, I had a couple of red shirts, so I thought, why not dress for the live stream? So yeah. And as far as places to go, one thing that stuck in my mind too, when we were talking about museums, is the zoo. It can be a little pricey, but sometimes they have discounts for like AAA and other programs. And some zoos, until like the end of February, some zoos have what they call penguin days, where it's buy one, get one, because all of the animals aren't on exhibit, because some of them have to have warm weather. And so, you know, a zoo would be a really cool date. Busy says it's too cold to do anything outside here. We'll probably make a nice dinner and hang out. That's a really cool idea too. Let's see. I think that's on the list here. Candlelight dinner. Make it nice. And by making it nice, I mean like use the good paper plates, okay? Not the flimsy ones. If you're going to make this a nice meal, you got to go all the way. So if you're going to use paper, don't use flimsy. Get the nice ones. Or better yet, use your dishes that you have or the china and just set your table. You know, a lot of times we just get, excuse me, set your table. A lot of times we just get to where we just throw that silverware on there and stuff and we don't like actually set it. But take the time to set it. You can still fold paper napkins into like pretty patterns, pretty designs rather, and there are a ton of videos on napkin folding. And it's those little touches that make it nice, you know? And let's see. Busy lady says she's going to use real dishes and light a candle. There you go. And Stellar says she told someone on Twitter to bust out the fancy china even if they had frozen pizza. And Busy says she should do some fancy napkin folds and shock her husband. There you go. See, and it's those kinds of things that even if you're home, it makes your dinner special. You know, I'm going to show you all in a little bit that you can use basic things and still have a fun meal. In this case, it's just like a lunch picnic that I'm going to show y'all in a few minutes. And it's just plain stuff. I mean, we're talking peanut butter here. And on the napkin folds, Stellar is saying to Busy that there's a ton that are super easy. And there are. And it's those little things. Lori Jean says, hearing that the grocery lot idea brought barbecue to my mind for a kids venue, that I want to start with my son for those kids that have nowhere to go, as well as ones that do that. See, that would be really cool. That would be super cool. So if you do that, I hope that works out well. And definitely keep us posted. Busy says men do love peanut butter. And it says, send me a vid of easy ones on Facebook, please. Okay, Stellar, just make a post if you want to, or put it on this video link. If you private messenger, but go ahead and put it also public so people can see it too. Who knows? I might want to even fold something. Yeah. Another idea that this is going back because some of the things that we used to do as kids, that was fun, that we've gotten out of the habit of doing, usually when we're adults, can be really fun and make it a fun date. And that is go get some duck food and go to the pond or go to the lake, wherever the ducks gather, and feed the ducks or the Canadian geese, whatever kind of fowl you've got over there. You know, get some duck food and feed them. You can go to the pet store and they can direct you to the duck food. Some parks have the little dispensers where you put your quarter in and you get like 5 pieces of duck food that you can feed the ducks with. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't like a date like that, you know? And it's not something we get to do much anymore. Okay, busy lady's going to be back. She's throwing nuggets in the air fryer. All right, that sounds good. Now, Stellar Piper is advising busy lady that dinosaur nuggets are superior to regular nuggets. I don't know if I want to get into that argument. So, yeah. What do you all think about a scavenger hunt for a date ideas where one person in the party makes a list of like places to go in their town, and then the two would run around, and it's not an argument, it's a fact, LOL. Okay, dinosaur nuggets are better than regular nuggets. I will just let you and Busy argue about that fact, okay? Oh, y'all are a mess. Absolute mess. But what do y'all think about a scavenger hunt where one person would make a list and then you go to different places on that list and then take a selfie of yourself at each of the places? Because that would be, I think, something really cute, especially if you wanted to post it on Facebook or Instagram, or, you know, make a little book about it later. You know, this was our date night 2022. We went to like 10 places and found museums, statues, interesting houses, restaurants, whatever's kind of personal to y'all. So I thought that might be just a really unique to each couple, fun, cheap date idea that, you know, inexpensive all the way. And the other thing that I was thinking about for a cheap date, and I started to mention this to my husband, because here it's not going to be super cold, but with my walking right now and my breathing, I don't think we can do that. But I was going to mention to my husband about going out and playing mini golf, because we have not done that in like years. Probably since Stellar Piper was a young girl. Let's see, Lori says, been trying for many years, want some free food all the time and a couple of free beds for the homeless. Okay, compare notes with Stellar Piper, message each other, and compare notes, because she works with homeless street kids. So she might be a source of information for you. Let's see. Stellar Piper is suggesting go to the library and each pick out a book for the other. Nice. Nice. I'm going to write that down too. I wouldn't have thought about that. That would never have been on my radar screen. That is a cool idea. And for you all who are going to be having Valentine's Day at home, an idea is to make an at-home basket with a DVD, if you still need DVDs, and a board game. And if it says if you don't like DVDs, of course you can stream something. Amazon Prime, great for streaming. Netflix, y'all are probably already set up with your favorite streaming. But make a basket and add popcorn and movie theater type snacks. And here's something that I want you to do. If you're going to do a date night at home and you want to make it special, and you're doing the theater basket with the popcorn and stuff, whoever comes up with this idea, here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave your house by going outside, walk around from the backyard to the front yard. You don't have to go 5 miles from home, but come back to your house, ring the doorbell, and announce that you want to take your special person on a date at home, and that as part of it, you brought the popcorn and the movie theater snacks, and you have this basket or bag and with all these goodies in it, and you want to have a date night at home, because there is something about walking out the door and back into the door that brings back that familiarity, that reminder of, some of your early dates, and come in and knock on the door and say, hey, I want to take you out to our house for a night in. So what do you all think about that? Stellar says, alternatively, go to the romance section, pick a book and open to a random page, pick the 10th sentence, and build a story. Aw, that would be cool. And Busy Lady says, I wish my hubs and I could get the house to ourselves. Yeah, sometimes with kids it's impossible. You might be able to work out with another couple where you trade and you're like, okay, you have the kids this night and we'll take our night out special, and we'll take your kids on this night and y'all can have your kids special, your night special. My husband and I used to do that actually when our kids were really young, and it worked out pretty well, but not everybody can do that. We were very fortunate to have a friend whose kids were close to the same age as my older daughter by just a couple of weeks. That might help. And I know some people can't do that right now, can't walk outside of their house and in their front door because they've got snow piled up. And I get that too. But if you can, I just think it adds something special to the date. So yeah, let me go back here to the chat. Okay. Lori says she likes the scavenger hunt idea. Busy Lady says it's a cute idea. She says that her aunt still lives there, and that is why that's why her son stays in his room most of the time. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense too, because sometimes you have that one relative or two. Yeah, I get that. And we talked about candlelight dinners using your good paper plates or your good china. Oh, a trip to the movies with your son, with Matthew. That might be a neat idea. Oh, okay. Busy says she's going to move soon. That's not on the Valentine's Day date idea, but I will applaud that for you, because it sounds like that will really make you happy. So there you go. Okay, the beach or lake at sunset. We kind of talked about that a minute ago. Just sit by the lake or sit by the beach. Obviously, anything that you can do near a beach. You're 99.9% of the way to a fun date. Yeah. Go for it. I'm in the Bodacious Facebook group. There you go. So exchange that info. Network. Okay, and over in the Facebook group, Laurel Stewart, which is Candy the Wee Service Dog, she suggested to go to a drive-in movie and then to a car hop restaurant. Many cities are embracing the 50s and 60s atmosphere when it comes to nostalgic entertainment and eating. Just Google drive-ins and car hop restaurants. They're reasonably priced too. And I immediately thought of Sonic. I don't know if Sonic is nationwide, but they do the whole car hop thing. Sometimes you'll go and you'll see them on roller skates, which is very cool, but very brave. And there may be a mom and pop car hop restaurant here and there. That's just the one that came to mind. And Busy Lady over in the group suggested a barbecue and bonfire in the backyard. So that would be cool. The barbecue and the bonfire. And a lot of guys are going to like that because a lot of them will like doing the grill. Okay, Stellar Piper says there's a drive-in restaurant in Lexington. There you go. Yeah, Laurel suggested just Googling it and see what comes up. Yeah. Somebody on Twitter made a suggestion to me. They sent me a message suggesting to go fishing. And according to her, ice fishing can be romantic, and suggests bringing hot chocolate to warm up with, and says going fishing at a lake or pond would be nice too if you don't live where ice fishing is a thing. Has anybody ever been ice fishing? Would that be a romantic thing to do? It's totally out of my experience, ice fishing. I can get with the lake or pond being nice, but the ice fishing intrigues me just because I've never done that, and she suggests hot chocolate to warm up with, and anytime you add chocolate to a date, you're kicking up that romance factor. Busy Lady says it's too cold for her to ice fish, but lots of people love it and say it's relaxing. Okay, so Busy Lady knows a little bit about ice fishing. That is cool. Stellar says she can't even walk on ice without breaking something. I don't think ice fishing is going to be a good idea for her. And on Stellar Piper, I have to agree. For y'all that don't know, Stellar Piper is my daughter, and I completely agree with her breaking things on ice. Those stories are for her to tell. So for her, going ice fishing would not make for a romantic date, but maybe for other people. Also, somebody else hit me on Twitter, suggested rather, instead of going out for lunch or dinner because it's like going to be like really, really, really stupidly crowded. Okay, I added a really in there. Go out for breakfast at a quirky restaurant or a 50s place. So, breakfast idea instead of lunch or dinner. And she's probably right about the crowd factor. So yeah, breakfast would be a neat idea. Because we kind of think about Valentine's Day as being like a lunch or a dinner kind of thing. So for me, I thought that was really interesting for her to suggest breakfast instead of lunch or dinner. And so I guess that also goes with like the 50s, 60s theme that we were talking about earlier with the car hops and a drive-in movie. And let's see. Stellar says, it's her inevitability there. Says, ooh, diners, they have the best food. Sometimes they do. And, you know, those little hole-in-the-wall places can really fix you up. Busy says, we could place bets on which bone we would break this Valentine's Day. All right. We won't talk about breaking bones. So we'll get off the ice fishing topic. It sounds like it's going to be really dangerous. And ice skating might be a romantic date for some of you all, but it doesn't sound like everybody here would be really good on the skates. Oh, yeah. Stellar says she's going to PM Busy with the most recent one. Yeah, Stellar and Ice, they don't get along well. So for her, an ice skating date is not going to work. Let me just give you a quick peek at a Valentine's Day meal, or just really a fun meal that I've done for my husband, and I'm going to do that here just to give you an idea that it's not the type of food that makes a romantic Valentine's Day. It's not the expensive atmosphere. It can be just plain stuff, done kind of cute, in the car, watching the sunset. So hang on just a second. I'm going to turn this phone. Lori says diners are wonderful. I agree. We likes our diners. Okay, I hope everybody can see this. If not, just like yell at me. Okay, so what I have here is a little bit of curling ribbon, the all-important tape, scissors, a knife, a spreading knife, loaf of bread. That bread is the best for pretzels. It is really good. And would you believe I got this from Misfits? I order food from Misfits Market sometimes, and I had the option to buy that. So I did. And along with this, I've got just a fruit pack and a heart cookie cutter. And you can actually do this for kids, but it also works for a romantic dinner. But as I look at this, I noticed one thing that I forgot, and that is peanut butter. Hang on just one second. I'm just going to grab it from the cabinet right here, because if I'm going to do a peanut butter thing, I have to have the peanut butter. So there we go. And again, this is real simple. It's just kind of cutesy. I'm going to get the bento box out, which I got one of these for my husband. Ordered it off of Amazon, and he really likes it. And the neat thing about it is all the pockets in the bento box. But you could do it with a paper bag just as easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. We make life too complicated. All right. Kind of like now, where I can't get the lid off the box. I think I must have mashed it too tight. Okay, I did. So anyway, the bento box is just one open compartment with a divider in the middle that you just move around. And on this one, the bottom of it is the same way, and it's got this small little container. So if you want to put some, whatever kind of topping or ketchup or ranch dressing in that, you can. So anyhow, it's going to be a fun lunch in a serious box for a fun romantic reason. Okay, and I have this carrot. And we don't usually think about carrots as being fun food, but I cut the carrot at an angle there, and I'm going to cut it at an angle here. Let me get my fingers out of the way, or I'll pull a Stellar Piper deal here. We don't want to do that. And then just cut out a slit right at the top. Pull that out. And just like that, you have a veggie heart. Now, I'm not going to keep on going with this, but you can. And maybe the veggie hearts aren't perfect, but you guys get the idea. Actually, that one kind of looks like Mickey Mouse, but that's okay. We'll call it a heart. So, super simple, okay? So, put that in a little bento box. And get the bread for the peanut butter sandwich. And if you don't have curling ribbon rather, you can go to Busy Lady's favorite store, which is the Dollar Tree. Or I guess it's the $1.25 tree now. But anyway, you can get curling ribbon there. So just take it. Y'all know what I'm doing here. I'm cutting off the crust because that's what you do in this household sometimes when you're making one of these sandwiches. And if you have a rolling pin, this is a good time to get it because you can roll. I'm just going to flatten it. But if you have a chance and you can roll it out, that's really the best thing to do. Okay, I'm going to Or you can do like I just did. Use your peanut butter thing. And I know it's kind of quirky here. But my husband is like a peanut butter fanatic, so he would love this. Love it, love it. And it's not going to get more inexpensive than this for a really cheap date idea. So, and it's really, you know, like I said, you don't have to do anything complicated. It's just, it's the thought and it's how you do things. So I'm going to take my cookie cutter and cut it into a heart. Voila! See, it's really simple to do that for Valentine's Day. And it's going to go into the bento box. And I'll probably make a couple of these for him for like the rest of his meal. But, you know, you've got your, just to give you an idea here, you know, you've got your carrots cut into hearts and you can put the other bigger pieces in, and your little sandwich cut in a heart. But the other thing that's kind of cute, I'm just going to move some of this stuff away for a second here. I just want to clean up the area just a minute. I'm going to grab something else over here. Just a cleaner paper towel. Because the next little thing, you know, these little pretzels right here that somebody commented on being like the best flavor, best pretzels under the sun. I agree. So with the pretzels, just to make them cute and kind of fun for Valentine's Day, I'm going to take a few here. Only a few, the rest go back in the bag. I'm just going to take this closed for a second. Not what I had in mind doing with the tape, but it will work. So anyway, it's all about the thought that you put into something. So take this and the curling ribbon. Don't cough all over the food. But you know, just stack them up and tie them up with a curling ribbon. And then just do your little edges. So you have your pretzels in your box with a curling iron. I mean, with a curling iron. I keep saying that, okay? Curling ribbon. So that's all you have to do to make a little romantic picnic idea. But if you really want to do one more thing, take you a piece of paper, a small one, and y'all know how to cut out hearts. Probably learned in school. And a little bit more of the curling ribbon. And then just take this on your fruit pack. And so, I mean, that's all there is to it. it's, you know, it's not complicated. It's not expensive. I don't like the way I did that heart, but that's okay. Y'all get the picture. So there you go. Your Valentine's Day meal that you take on a picnic with your special someone. Turn that up. So who knew it would be that easy, right? Tilt this up some more. And that's all you have to do. You know, have a good, quirky, fun Valentine's Day meal at your picnic, at a park, or by the lake, or a pond, or the ferry ride when you're doing the sunset. So what do you all think? Did you think it'd be that easy? Or that cheap? Because it doesn't get cheaper than peanut butter. And, you know, if you're allergic to peanut butter, or the significant other in your life is allergic to peanut butter, you can get some cheese. You can make a cream cheese sandwich, or some of the deli cheese slices that you get over in the cheese section. I think Kraft makes some. So you can make a cheese sandwich out of that and make that little heart. Use your little heart cookie cutter. If you don't have a heart cookie cutter, you can use a knife. Busy Lady says she liked it. She says she's going to make her husband a heart-shaped sandwich of some kind. See? There you go. It's really, don't you all think it's the thought more than the food? And Busy says she needs to go get a heart-shaped cookie cutter now. Of course, Amazon can hook you up, but they did have some at the Dollar Tree that were like a 3-pack. And so Busy's going to make her husband a heart-shaped sandwich. There you go. And, I mean, for dessert, if you want to do a dessert, you can make cookies. Use this same cookie cutter that I keep wanting to hold upside down. Or just spend a couple of bucks and you can buy a couple of cookies that are heart-shaped, or chocolate chip, because chocolate chip makes any date romantic. Just saying. Toss in chocolate. If you're a man and you are listening to this and you want a cheap date idea, toss in anything chocolate. Right, ladies? Busy says she has a heart-shaped cake pan she got at a thrift store, but she thinks she left it in Florida. Aww. Chocolate chip cookies are romantic, LOL. I had no idea. It's the chocolate part. It's the chocolate that does it for me. Anyway, y'all, whatever you do for a cheap date on Valentine's Day, I hope you have fun. If you've got any other suggestions, you know, leave them in the comments or put them over on Facebook. Busy says, LOL, I learned something new. You know, why not? You don't have chocolate chip cookies every day. Come on. Of course, you could get like tons of other things. You could get cheesecake or anything you want. They sell cheesecakes by the slice now sometimes, so that would be fun. Just anything that you can do just to make the day kind of different or fun, you know, that doesn't cost a fortune. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. And if you have any other cheap date ideas, just drop them in the comments. And I'm going to take this video and I'm going to probably cut it up and talk about just the cheap date ideas and take off some of the rabbit trails. And my pauses. I've noticed I pause a lot in the videos now, and I'm sorry. Stellar Piper says, hit up the Fresh Market or Whole Foods for mini dessert from the bakery section. Ooh, that sounds like fun. And I will say that we got, for my husband's birthday, we got a really, really good cheesecake from Whole Foods. And they sold it in the mini section, and the minis weren't too bad. So, anyway, But y'all, thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful week. And please stay well. Okay, y'all? All right. Have a good week. And I will see you Saturday at 7 right here on this channel, 7 Eastern. And I'm going to have a couple of videos up this week. So y'all take care. And always be bodacious. Oh, yeah, Stellar has a really great thing about like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Because those likes help me out. So thanks for watching. And always, we're always about the hashtag be bodacious on this channel, which means you're not going to let life get in the way of living. And I feel a cough attack coming on. So I will talk to y'all later. Take care. Good night, everyone.